Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't see you over there. What's that? You want to learn about animal adaptations? Sure, why not? Alright, so here are animal adaptations as brought to you by this guy, Mr. Kirkness. The truth about adaptation. An adaptation is a special skill which helps an animal to survive and do everything it needs to do. Adaptations can be physical changes to the animal's body or behavioral changes in how an individual animal or society does things in their daily lives. Here are the top 10 adaptations that animals have made. Number 10, nest parasitism or parasitism. See, you see little birds there? Some females love the joy of motherhood, while others would just as soon let someone else do all the work for them. For example, certain cuckoo birds are famous for their habit of nest parasitism, which refers to laying their eggs in the nest of other species, who then feed on them and care for the cuckoo's orphaned offspring. So they lay their eggs in another bird's nest, so the other bird has to raise their babies, and they don't have to. As is the case with most nest interlopers, the young cuckoos are larger and more aggressive than the hatchlings of the host nest. So they put their own bigger little birdie, and he pushes the other little birdies out. Sometimes they actually knock the other eggs out of the nest entirely, which is just a special sort of crazy. In the stiff competition for food, the weaker nest mates usually die. It's an excellent adaptation for the cuckoo, but a disastrous one for the nest owner themselves. Number 9, speed. Some animals just aren't big enough or strong enough to compete for food or to get away from predators. As a result, they have adopted to be fast. Faster than that. The cheetah, for example, can run 109.4 to 120.7 kilometers an hour. That's 68 to 75 miles an hour. That's faster than any other land animal. No other land animal can run as fast as a cheetah. Fast. They can cover distances up to 500 meters in short bursts. That's more than once around the track at that speed. And they can accelerate from 0 to 96 kilometers an hour, which is our nice Canadian way of saying 0 to 60 miles an hour, in 3, that's 1, 2, 3 seconds. Number 8, hare. For most people, hair is a decorative yet essentially unnecessary feature of their anatomy. Some people even go to great lengths to remove different parts of hair. But to most mammals in the wild, hair offers important protection from the elements. The muskox, pictured here, is a great example. It has an important adaptation to its bitterly cold home on the vast Alaskan tundra. Its thick, shaggy hair hangs down to the ground and gives the ox the protection it needs in frigid temperatures. Very, very, very cold. Such fur helps the animal to survive when winter temperatures drop to an average of minus 30 degrees. Minus 30! And then when it heats back up to nice and hot, they actually shed some of that hair. True story. Number 7, artificial bigness. And no, we're not referring to the steroids of the animal kingdom. That's a big fish, right? No, it's actually a little fish that puffs up. A lot of species in the animal kingdom try to appear larger to ward off predation, but the blowfish, also called the puffer or balloon fish, takes number 7 in our countdown for its ability to puff up to about twice its normal size in response to a predator's advance. Twice its normal size. When threatened, the blowfish will pump air or water into their extremely elastic stomachs to the point of being nearly spherical in shape. With their spines and their scales protruding. Protruding, of course, means... yes, sticking out. Very good. Gold star. At that point, they can barely move. But it doesn't usually matter since they're virtually inedible in that form. Nothing even really wants to, or most things can't actually eat them in that state. Crazy. Number 6, resource conservation. That's a camel. For animals that live in areas where resources such as food and water are scarce for long periods of time, the ability to conserve fat and water in the body can mean the difference between life and death. A stunning example of resource conservation comes from the Bactrian camel, a 2-humped ungulate that lives in the rocky and arid regions of Central and Eastern Asia, where temperatures range from minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. That is cold to hot. The Bactrian camel has a couple of key adaptations that help it survive these conditions. First, their humps are filled with fat. Filled. That can be converted to energy and water in lean times. Second, they can forego sweating until their body temperatures reach nearly 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So they don't sweat unless they are really, 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 really hot. Number 5 on our countdown. Hibernation! It's a bear. Okay, so having to get out of bed on cold winter days can be unpleasant enough to make hibernation seem like a pretty smart idea. After all, it's a great way to escape the cold and an ingenious method of surviving harsh conditions or when resources are scarce. No food? No worries, we're gonna sleep through the winter. A lot of animals hibernate, including chipmunks, hedgehogs, bats, and of course, everyone's favorite? Bears. Very good. Some animals, such as the American black bear, snooze through the winter, but they can be aroused from their slumber somewhat easily. So don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. Others, such as most small mammals, enter a deep state of suspended animation. It's usually quite difficult to stir these animals from their hibernation. Camouflage. Camp number 4, camouflage. The ability to blend into their surrounding environment. Am I camouflaged? No. The ability to blend into their surrounding environment can come in handy when trying to avoid a predator, especially for those animals with little else in their defense arsenal. Long story short, if you're not big enough to fight, be really good at hide and seek, especially the hiding part. Several animal species, including scorpionfish and leaf frogs, can change their appearance to match their surroundings. So, can I? Nope, not pulling it off. Others can make themselves appear like something boring, like a walking stick, which looks very much like a twig. Zebras are another animal that use camouflage to fool would-be predators. See, to a lion, a herd of zebras looks more like a mass of black and white stripes than delicious, tasty meat. So it works. Number 3, migration. Migration. Coming in at number 3 on our list, 1, 2, 3, is migration. One of the greatest adaptations in the animal kingdom. Because, of course, they're getting better. Nothing in nature is more awe-inspiring than the moment of a population of animals along the horizon as they migrate from one place to another, covering huge distances. The reasons for migration are varied, but they usually have to do with finding food and a good place to mate. Some animals cover large portions of the globe with their migration routes. For example, the Arctic tern makes an annual migration from its breeding grounds in the Arctic to its wintering grounds in Antarctica. So from the top of the world to the bottom of the world. Covering a distance of 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles. That's how far they fly. And of course, that wouldn't be possible without number 2 on our list, flight. Animals have evolved a number of ways of navigating the earth, including walking, swimming, climbing, hopping, and those are all cool. But nothing's as cool as flying. With the evolution of flight, our number 2 adaptation takes maneuvering on this planet to a higher level. Haha, see what I did there? Bring me a higher love. Or don't. Flying not only delivers an animal from one place to another much faster than lumbering around with a pair of legs, it also allows a creature to escape predators, explore new territories, and look for resources that otherwise might be out of reach. And although we rely on machines rather than our own bodies in the air, being able to fly has certainly changed human society. We can get across the globe seemingly instantly. And our number 1 adaptation, living together. Bet you thought it would be something cooler, but it really is super important. Of all the wonderful adaptations in the animal kingdom, perhaps the most important is the habit of living together in communal or family groups. Think about it. Animals can derive a lot of benefits from spending time with other members of the same species. They can help each other find food, defend against predators, care for the young, share all the work and all the reward. Countless species engage in group living, either in herds, colonies, harems, complex societies, or at least loose associations. tons of species rely on each other all the time. And now for your assignment. Here's what I want you to do. Your assignment is to create a response to this presentation. You must pick at least one adaptation I mentioned. In fact, I want it to be specifically one adaptation that I mentioned. Explain to me why it's your favorite, or why it's the most important, or why it's the coolest, or however you want to phrase it. You have to respond to at least one of them. Your response must be a full page in length, and you must draw a picture of an animal that uses that adaptation. Preferably using that adaptation if you can. Please don't draw me a picture of a bird sitting there and be like, I'm a bird. Make it fly. Or you could pick a different adaptation that I did not explain on this list. But if you do that, part of your written response must explain why you picked it. And of course, you gotta tell me what it is. That's all for now. Thanks for learning. Have a good day.